14. Usually. Okay. Yeah. That's the issue with everything except the computer. Yeah. So morning everyone. Good afternoon. Yes, keep it up. So I'm Irving. So I'll be talking about technopreneurship. So it will be mostly a sharing of what I went through the last 2 years, and hopefully to get you motivated to get started. So before we start, since it's a sharing, I'd like to know you a bit more. How many students? Students? Hey, there's a lot. Actual developers? Yeah. Okay, we have a good mix. Designer, QA, like anything non-tech related. Okay, all techies here, that's great. So you all want to change career. So it's a bit about me. So I'm Mauritian, Microsoft MVP, C# MVP. So I do a lot of tech most of the time. I blog, I code, I talk. But there's also the part of me where I've tried to start my own startup, which is called Bloom. So it's possible to be a tech guy and to try to start your company at the same time. There's no rule that prevents you from doing that. I've been trying, so I'm able to balance both my passions for programming and for business. If you're here today, I think most of you have the same passion, right? Hands up. Same passion. 2, 3. Yeah. For the students, it's good. Don't get in the trap of full-time job. Yeah. So before we start, have a huge crowd today. I'm pretty much sure that you expect something out of the session. Before we start, can I have like a little insight of what you expect out of this 45 minutes sharing today? Anyone?
Yes. How to become rich?
I'll show you how to get started in getting rich. Yeah, anyone else?
Preparing for your early retirement.
Yeah, so you want to know how to get early retirement. Okay, yeah, contributed that to your pension fund. Anyone else? Students, what are you expecting out of the session? Because it's not what university will teach. Sorry? Yeah, good one. Anyone else want to give it a shot? No? Yeah, all valid points here. The 9 to 5 thing is very, very valid point. I was fearing that also. The whole time I was third year, I didn't want to get trapped in the 9 to 5. How to get rich? That was something that came a bit later, because I think this come up because you've seen Elon Musk, right? All of the
influencers on Instagram, so I get jealous.
Yeah, it's good that you've talked about influencers, so I can remove one slide from my presentation. Yeah, so before we start, I've been like talking a lot about the 9 to 5, the jobs and everything. So this is a sharing. I don't want to influence you into quitting your job on Monday and starting your own thing. I'll be sharing with you my experience, my challenges, successes and failures. So it's a sharing. Make the most of it, ask the maximum number of questions that you can. And hopefully if you want to get started in doing your own thing, I'll be very happy about that. But I won't be influencing you to quit your job on Monday. So, all of you here, so we're living in an era where we've seen a lot of technopreneurs, we've seen a lot of things happening around that. How many types of technopreneurs do you think there are? A number, or maybe kind of technopreneurs that you might know. So how many, any like idea of who other technopreneurs are there? Local or international? Any idea? Like a number, come on. 58? 2? 52 or just 2? What could be those two?
Those who succeed and those who keep trying.
Okay. Oh, you try until you succeed also, so it could be 3. To get to the bottom of this question, so it's very important to know how many types are there, so that you know already where you want to fit yourself. So that will be like the motivation or the purpose that you have for the next 2, 3, or maybe 5 years. So understanding the type of technopreneur that you want to be. So one word, but there's more than one word here. There are actually 2 words. The first one is techno. Why is it not appearing? Okay. Techno. It's everything that relates to tech. Okay. So good question here. What for you? What tech is?
Just put your refresh rate to 25.
Okay.
I had this issue yesterday.
Côté 700.
Alors, et 10 spécial.
Space. Low? No?
Voilà, mettez 25.
Yeah. So I was here. So techno, tech, everything tech related. What of the word here? But what is tech? So you want to start your company in tech. So what tech means to you? I've seen some people here who try to set up their company in tech. So now, what is tech to you?
Magic? I don't know.
That could be it. Anyone else? What's tech for you? You've been in tech. Anything related to IT. So you're changing tech into IT. So, okay, good. That could work. Anything related to IT. Talking about information, that's one thing. So tech, if you see, tech cannot exist on its own. You cannot say, okay, I know tech, I do tech. For example, I work at MCB. We're doing tech there, but we're doing more specifically, we're doing fintech, technology related to finance. So technology needs a reason to exist. You cannot say tech is just tech. Tech exists because there's a reason behind the tech. You don't just create something, you wake up in the morning, okay, I want to create something, a tech. You need to have a purpose behind for you to get started into creating something. So that's the tech part of it. So the tech is, what are you trying to solve with tech? It could be, there's a lot of tech actually, you might not know about that. Okay. You have food tech. Anything related to invention into food. So new kinds of food. You're having cereal bars, kind of thing, like you're going to have a meal in only one bar. So that's food tech out there. Agri-tech. All the innovation that's happening in agriculture, thanks to thanks to tech, sorry. There's a lot of things happening in the AI world. So people are trying to create new proteins that could help in medtech, that could help in food tech, it could have like new kinds of food. There's also edutech, people creating courses, that's also tech. Okay? Now there's the entrepreneur part of the word. Okay, so you've been able to identify the kind of tech in which you want to evolve, right? So what kind of entrepreneur you want to be in regard to that tech that you're creating? Then for that, there's a lot of things happening here. You could be an entrepreneur. In tech, you can be freelancers. You talk about influencers. So influencers are very, very special. Like they're leveraging on all the things that we work very hard to create, and people see only that. Okay? You have course creators, you have creators, but most of the people know the startup founders. So when you're talking about technopreneur, every time you think of the startup founders, Jeff Bezos, all the guys that succeeded. But there's more to it. So if you take the word as a whole, you see To get to the bottom of the question of how many kind of technopreneurs there are, that could be a match of, you could be in agri-tech and start your startup for that. It could be like, okay, you could be like in fintech, but you're creating online courses for that. Because there's a lot of security things that you need to keep in mind when working with financial data. So it could be like anything, food tech and influencer, for example. There's a lot of tech that you can create. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that can exist in that space, but you decide which tech and what kind of entrepreneur you can do. So maybe you'll be able to create something new. I hope that for all of you here. So why are you important? You want to start your company. You want to be rich, okay? But what value are you delivering to people? Why do you think you are important? Because you don't want to create a company, be rich, and no one is. So you won't be rich if no one is using the things that you are creating. So for you to create the correct thing you need to see what value you need to bring to people. So why are you important? So very lately, with COVID, there's a lot of people working from home. So tech is one of the rare domain where you can create anything out of nothing. Okay? So what's interesting now is that people don't wait for companies to bring in solutions. They find a problem, they try to solve the problem, and they make their company out of it. So instead of waiting for a change to happen, you're the change maker actually. So people need to have solution every day because you might have heard it now, the users, or if you have an app or something, people don't want to wait 1 second for your screen to do it. So people know what they want. They know what they need and they know how these are delivered to them. So if you see an issue, people will try to look for the solution. They go online, they look for the solution. If you're the same kind of person who are facing the same issue, you don't wait for the change to happen. You try to make your impact and you create your company from that. That could be one way of you getting rich if you're able to solve the correct problem with the correct solution. Okay, so with new kind of, because we're able to create new companies that never existed before. Now people are running companies from their home, and their employees are like in the next country or not even in Mauritius. Sometimes you never meet them in person. So you are able to create employment or even job title that did not exist before. So I think it happened, it hit me when I was a student. So I was looking for a job. I was trying to fit myself in a box. I was trying to see if I fit in that position or I fit in another position. It could be that you're not finding a job because the job does not exist yet. Okay? So people creating companies, they're also creating, like if you're creating a new company, something that was never done before. So you're creating maybe a job that did not exist before. That could be like helping people because most of the time people will try to fit themselves in a box. But if the box does not exist, you won't try to fit yourself in that just for the sake of getting a job. And yeah, you are unique. Trying to solve a problem requires it's a hard choice. Okay? So you're trying to solve an issue, you're trying to solve it a way that was never done before. So you're innovating in some way. Every year there are millions of patents which are being filed. Every year. In 2022 there were 6 million of patents. Okay, that was submitted to the bureau, I forgot the name. But it's 6 million patents. It's not one company, it's not a lot of companies, it's a lot of people who are trying to solve issues that was not done before. So last time I was ordering pizzas from the menu, there's this tracking where you see where your pizza has reached. This thing is patented. So people have seen that, okay, I want to track where my pizza is because I don't want to lose time, get there and wait there. It doesn't help anyone. So you're trying to solve this issue, you're innovating, you're creating something that did not exist. So the world, like right now, needs people who want to make that. It's a big leap. It's very hard to get to that other side of the street. So trying to innovate requires a lot of hard work, but it's also like that keeps you going every day. Like you want to wake up in the morning, you want to stay late at night because you're innovating, you're creating something for the people, and maybe down the line you'll be creating a job that will help someone also. So you're providing a lot of value. So that's why other people here who want to get started actually, you're important because the world needs you. Cool. But for you to get started, like at the start I asked you, what kind of tech are you in? What are you creating? What's your why? What is the things that keeps you going? So why you want to get started? Why you want to do something in this field? For example, I've created my startup called Bloom. So it's peer-to-peer computing for companies. Okay? So my why behind was that I was facing a lot of issues because of traffic. I was not able to wake up early in the morning, and so you wake up late, and you want to get to the bus very fast. And once you get in the bus, like spending the whole time there. So that was my why. You need to find your why, because don't do something just for the sake of doing it. The why will be the fuel that will keep you going. So, okay. So the why is very important. It's been 2 years I've been working. I've been trying to set up my company. I've talked to a lot of people. So there's a regular pattern in finding your why. So just look for the things that you love, and you see if there is a problem in that. Okay. So I love traveling by bus. Okay. I also love the environment. But the issue is that because of the way we've been doing it for years, it's affecting the environment. And we like increasing traffic every day. So the why was that I wanted to have a planet to live in tomorrow, but still try to solve that. So that's not a better formula, but it's the pattern. I've been talking to a lot of people. When they're telling me their why, it comes in that form. So what you love? So who are the people who want to get started, who want to create their own company? Everyone wants to, okay, great. Any student who wants to start their company? No? So what's your why a bit?
Mostly about why?
I mean, like, so you want to start a company. Like, what is the reason you want to start the company? Why should your company exist?
Mostly I don't know.
Yeah. So let's take who raised their hand. Yeah.
Is that adding value to the society is one of my why, very
Yeah.
driven to that. And I'm very ambitious in trying to solve problems.
Yeah.
Especially that is why I'm driven.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So one thing here is very important to know your why, because things get rough very fast. Like it hits you with a brick the second you want to get started. Okay? If you don't know your why, at the first challenge that you have, you say, okay, I'm done. So if you're doing that full time, like you quit your job, you start your company, after 2 months, you face the first challenge. So if you're not clear about your why, if you're not clear about why you want to do that, so say, okay, let me stop everything, I'll go look for a job. So it needs to be important enough so that after 5 years, you still remember the reason why you started. Because hard times will come a lot and very often. So the why will be the reason that will keep you going. So it's very important to find the why. Okay, Okay, so you're able to find, you find your why. You find the problem, you've seen what you love, and you've seen what's the problem you want to solve. Okay, anything that's related to that. But how to solve it? You just don't open your computer. Okay, I've seen an issue. Let's take Airbnb for example. Don't remember their story. So for example, the issue was the guy was traveling to another place, and hotels are costing a lot. Just don't open your computer and start writing your website or your app. You're a developer. I've been there. So it took me 1 year. I did it the way. So I found the problem. I opened my computer. I worked 3 months on the solution. And then the moment I go live, people start sending negative feedbacks. It's feedback, but given in a harsh way. Okay? You just don't go do that directly because we are developers. We want to do it. But there are steps that you need to follow. The first one is the hardest one. Yeah, you need to forget that you're an engineer. Forget that. The moment you see that, okay, I want to get started in that, forget that you're an engineer. Forget that you are a developer. Forget whatever you are that requires coding or a computer. That won't help you. You rush into a solution that won't fit your audience or your market. Okay? So instead of being an engineer from the start, be a product designer. Yeah, one thing, product designer is not someone who sits and draw like wireframes and stuff, okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is that by being a product designer, this is what they do, and this is what you should also do. You need to understand the problem. You need to get to the bottom of the issue. Like sometimes, I'll take my example again. My issue was that I was waking up late, okay? And I needed to get to office at 9, and I was waking up at 8. It's not possible. So that was my view. It's not enough to start the company just because of that. And then you get to understand the problem because there are other people also having the same problem. When you talk to a lot of people, you will have a lot of problems happening. Okay? One thing that came up was that the issue of parking. Either there's no parking or parking was very, very expensive. Okay? Since you're dealing with if you're like a platform helping people to connect, so don't go directly your solutions because you just want something for you. There may be other things also that needs to be incorporated in that. So you need to understand the problem, get to the bottom of the problem, because you're not the only one that will use your application. There will be a lot of people, and you wish that as soon as you launch, you have you hit the million user in 1 hour. But for that, you need to understand the problem. Gather the maximum information. That's what I was telling you earlier. Talk to a maximum of people. Get information, because information will help you shape the first version of your application. Get to know the users. Again, it requires for you to go talk to the people. I've been talking to some people. I told you, okay, you need to go talk to people, do some interviews, ask them some questions for you to get started. The first thing the guy told me was, where do I look for the users to interview? But if you're not able to look for people to interview, how will your solutions get to that people? If you're not able to find your market, if you're not able to find the problem, like the people who's addressing this problem, if you're not able to get started, you won't be able to find your users. And learn design thinking. Again, design thinking, big word here, it's not about the colors and how to draw squares or things like that. There's a process, you need to gather the maximum information. There's something called story mapping, for each problem, who is the stakeholder it's affecting. So there's a lot of process, there's a lot of boards. So it's design thinking envelopes this first part into you shaping the solution that the people want. Straight away, as soon as you launch, the people will look for X, Y, Z feature. So having the design thinking will help you map the features to the users. So based on the information that you've gathered, this process here will help you sort out those pain points. So be the guy in the business. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of POs and BAs, product owners, business analysts. So once you were able to interview the people to get all the information from them, the common rule is to get an MVP in 3-4 months max. Talking to people, they will send you like a supermarket list of like a groceries list of pain points that they have. But you need to sort out the pain points first. Like get to the five, six things that you see all the people are talking about. So the reason they are all complaining. So you need to prioritize. So that's like, this is a P1, this is a P2, this is a P3. So I'll get started with a P1 first. So you need to prioritize your pain points. Set priorities. Not everything is important for everyone, but if you see like most of the people talking about one thing, this is important to them. And if it's important to them, it's important to you. Set deadlines. It's very important to have deadlines, else you go on forever. You need to have deadlines. So if you can, it's hard to do that. Set like very short deadline. It will force you to work to that. But if you set something like, I want to have a login screen, so I have 2 months for that. Like you need to get something out in 4 months and you're spending 2 months on the login screen. That helps. So once you have the priorities, be realistic and set deadlines. And build your MVP features. So there's sign in, sign up, that's the basic things. But you'll be able to build in your MVP based on the pain points. So all here will help you get your MVP, and your MVP needs to be out fast, and it needs to be very robust at the start because first impression counts. Okay? You're publishing every one of it, and no one is able to sign up. You can do like 50 features, and no one is able to use that. The first second, someone like tries to work with what you've delivered, and they cannot do it. They tell their friends, okay, this thing here, they say that it will help, but you're not able to sign in. So it's not that always like good press is, all press is good press. So you need to have just good press. And focused on the users. You need to be user focused. Like they are the one who will be using it. Okay? So based on that, you've seen at the start I was telling you that even influencers or freelancers or technopreneurs, right? So you might say, okay, this year I just built a product. But when you're like freelancing, for example, you are the product. Okay? You are what you are selling to your customers. Even if you are an influencer. Like you see that there are niche for influencers in tech. Like not everyone will go do everything. You need to know your market. Like need to know your niche. All the steps here does not apply if you're building a product. It also applies to freelancers, to not course creators. Like you need to know your audience. Either it will be advanced, introductory, students, in which tech it is. So even this step will help you build yourself as a product. Okay, so you've got your solutions, you've got your priorities, you've got the list of features. Now you can be in your shoes. So now you can be engineers, now you can be developers, but for some time. Because that will be the first and only time that you get to do that. That's the first time. It's a need to get to the big one that you get to work like code actually on the solution. Okay? So get your hand dirty in your MVP. So if you are a developer and you want to create your own MVP, if you want to create your own website, your own app, you can do it because then you know if the foundations are solid enough if you want to expand. If you cannot, nothing prevents you from hiring a freelancer. Okay? You need to like continue working with the freelancers. It's like you are doing the job, but you are just managing how the features that you need is. Okay? But always stick to your deadlines. It's not like because you're working for yourself, it doesn't mean that you can afford like to be delayed by 1 or 2 days. You need to be very disciplined about that, stick to the deadlines. Okay, so you have your MVP. Now be the product manager. So now you need to reach out to the people that you've interviewed. Okay, give them make them your beta users. Allow them to test. So I go by the rule that the more direct the people give you feedback, the better it is. So you don't expect any sugar-coated feedback. Go to the people that told you their pain points, give them your product to use. Then you'll know if it's really helping the people who you were targeting. Sorry. Allow the maximum users to test. So as I was telling you, if you don't have your sign-in working or your sign-up working, no one will continue using that. So you need a maximum of test and feedback. But there are some tests which are a bit more advanced. For example, if you want to do like a load test or a pen test or something like that, you might not know about that if you're a developer. So nothing prevents you again to get back to a freelancer. You need to stick to your deadline, so any help counts. Okay? Okay, now you're open. Now everything is all set. Now the fun begins. So you've been hiding behind your screen, no one sees what you've done so far. What you've done now is out there, it's public. The course that you've created, the videos that you've been creating, so it's out there, people are seeing that. Your friends, your families is looking at that. It's frightening. Okay? It should not be actually. It should not be frightening because you need to be confident about the thing that you're sending to production. Even if you're working full time for someone, you need to be confident of the thing that you're shipping. No one likes produce issue. Okay? So what will help you? Even rollout, pre-launch, seek for help. You are a developer. There's a lot of things that you don't know. Go look for the people who are specialists or experts in different fields. They will help you to get it correct because you might have the most beautiful website ever, but if you don't know how to communicate that to people, no one will use it. Okay? So you need to have like marketing guy input on that. You need to read a lot. Okay? The business world is very cruel. So when you're talking to people, when you need anything, you need to be well documented because people will judge you like a lot. You might be very good at selling your product, but you need to have money in. Okay? If you don't know how to have a pricing model, okay, you won't be able to make any money out of it. So you need to read a lot. There's a lot of people who are publishing. There are a lot of people who got in the startup world and they are sharing like their pricing model, how they are talking to people. So read a lot. There's a lot of good books. There's the Lean Startup that I've read. There's something about sales, I forgot the name, which is very, very good as well. So you need to read a lot. So all articles, everything is good. Document yourself. Take courses as well. There's a lot of good courses. I've taken some of them on Pluralsight or on Udemy as well. Take courses. You need to be the guy who understands like the minimum part of the business side because maybe once you scale up, you need someone who will do it for you. But then you cannot wait for people to come tell you everything that was done. You need to understand. You need to understand it. Okay? So reach out to the professionals when you're seeking for help, to the experts. Good point here is how to raise money. Okay? You need to build an MVP. If you want a freelancer, for example, most of the people won't have the money or they don't want to take money from their pocket, okay, to fund it. So you need to know to whom you're asking money. Angel investors, are you going to raise money like seed money, series A, B, or C, whatever it is. So you need to know when to raise money. Don't raise it too early because people sometimes will ask you, what have you done with that money? You need to know to whom also you're asking that because there are people who will try to make profit out of you. So you need to be very cautious about when, how, and from whom you're raising money. So money is on two sides. So you're doing something, you want money, okay? You want to make cash from your product. But since you're also a product, people might want to invest in your company, so invest in yourself. So they want to invest in you. So you need to be very cautious when dealing with money. And networking. Talk to people. So you've been talking to users. Okay, it's fine. It helps you get your MVP. But then talk to other people. You need to sell For example, if you want something corporate, for example, you're selling courses about public speaking, okay? And you're targeting like leadership people, okay? You need to talk to people, get to any like chance you have to network to with people, go talk to them, sell yourself, because at some point you and your product will be the same person, okay? So talk to a maximum of people, have their input, sell yourself, sell your product, but always keep talking. Don't say that, okay, I'll stay at home, I'll stay in my office and people will come look for me. It's not like that. You need to be very public, you need to talk to a lot of people. Okay, where to get help? A lot of people ask for that. Okay, is Mauritius supportive enough to people? Okay, so yes and no. We have a lot of help. Sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not enough. But for the help that I was able to get so far, I've tried to make the most of it. So Mauritius, we have the ADB and the MRIC, which helps you with the scheme, paperwork, taxes. This week I've learned that the MRIC also gives you funding money to get started with your MVP. MRIC also helps you if ever you want to patent your idea or something. So that could be good help. They are very friendly, you can give them a call. DBM, if you need loans, when I was talking about where to get money, so they can help you. There's also Angel, if you want to look for angel investors. There's a guy in Mauritius who's called Mark Israel. He's from Angel. There's FunKiss and FinClub, which is peer-to-peer lending. So if you want money, you can create your project there. So the good thing here is it's not a bank. So there's a lot of people helping you to raise that money. It could be like 1,000. Whatever people can, they will try to help you. So FinClub and FunKiss. And incubators, trampoline, turbine, large incubators, just good to know about them. So incubators are very good as well because they give you some insight that you might not know already. It's good also to go check with them. Some of them have incubation, pre-incubation, accelerate programs. So they are the ones who helps you with all the information that you might not know when you're getting started. That could be good also. Check the paperwork because taxes. So sharing my failures and my successes. And then maybe that would be what time to talk about. Yeah, as I was telling you, I've tried to do it the university way. Okay, so I find a problem, I think of a solution, I open my computer and I work on the solution straight away. Didn't work. So I spent 6 months to work on my MVP. Didn't respected my deadlines, so it took me 6 months. Okay, and once it got out, nobody liked the name. Okay, nobody liked the UI, no one liked it, but to me it was very good. Okay, that caused me to pivot. So I scrapped everything. I started all over again. But yeah, that was a failure and a success because those feedback helped me build the new platform, the new version. There's a lot of things to hard times. You need discipline actually. There are things that you want to do, but you need to say no. There are friends who you want to meet, but you cannot. Okay? So there's a lot of things. So sharing will go on, and the good thing about sharing successes and failures, that you can do it among yourself. That's part also of networking. Talk about failures. People don't talk enough of failures. Talk of failures. When you fail, there's learning in that. So it's never like complete failure. You're learning things from it. So talk to people, network events. Okay? And then successes will come. But when you reach there, don't forget to share it back to the community. Okay? So almost some time. Anything else? Any question? Anything I can help you? Yes, sir.
Yes, so you talked about how to raise money, right?
Yeah.
And then I know for most of the people who want to, put their money into your idea, right? They're actually coming in as investors. Most people won't just want to give you money for nothing. So how do you actually evaluate your idea or what you're starting up, right? to be able to know, okay, for this percentage of capital that this person is giving, this is the amount of share this person is supposed to have for this idea.
Good one. So you need to have a growth strategy. Okay, you want to see in one year I want to get there. In 2 years I want to get there. In 3 years, for example, I want to quit my company where I'm working full time. I want to quit that. I want to start working for myself. Okay, so I will need employees. I will need to pay them. I need a fees. I need a lot of infrastructures. Based on the milestone that you set yourself, you cannot give 50% of your company straight away. So that's one thing. And most of the people wants to give you money, but they don't want a small amount of it. A small amount of equity, for example. You need to say, okay, I'm raising this much of money to get to that goal. Okay? For example, the first goal was to get to the MVP. For example, okay, you're pitching your idea, you want to get to the MVP. But you also need to know where you want your MVP to be like later. Good? So for the MVP, you can say, okay, I can give only 10% of it. And you tell that person who's giving you money, okay, there will be another round, because another round there will be X, Y, Z coming. For the next round, there will be that much of equity that I'm going to give. Okay? So it might appear small for now, but if you join me now, you'll be the first one to be able to invest later. Okay? Start by giving small. Start by giving small, but it should be proportional to the amount of value that you're going to get out of it. Okay? That's why you need to read a lot and you need to network a lot, because when you talk to other people, there are people who are able to give like 5% of their companies for 100,000 rupees. But it depends also on what are the values that you're providing. So base the amount of your company that you're giving to investors based on the milestone that you want to reach. Okay? You need to be cautious about that. It's a case to case, so it's based on your product. Okay? I don't know if it helps you. Yeah. So know where you want to reach, to have like a 3-year plan, have milestone in that, and you know that to reach to the next milestone, for example, I need 500,000 more. Okay? You cannot say I'm going to give you 1% for 500,000. No one will give you that. You can say, okay, I'm giving you that because, like for example, I'm giving you 5% for 500,000. But if you give me that 500,000 based on this development, based on this value that I'm going to give, I'm going to make like 50 million profit. So your 2% is not only 2%, it's 2% based on the profit that I'm going to have. So you need to base yourself on the value that you're going to give them back once you promised a growth rate. Have a plan well set and know like at least project how much the next coming milestone will give back to the investors. So they know what they're going to have. Like you cannot have 5% of nothing. Does that make sense? You cannot have 100% of nothing, but sometimes 1% of a big thing is worth a lot. So it's how you set it also. Yeah. Anything else? Yes.
So let's say you're in capital, you get an idea,
Yeah.
and it's a project that you want to create. Let's say.
Mm-hmm.
How would you recommend? How far would you recommend like leaving your job and diving straight into the project, or like still keeping your job and working parallel with that, even to have something to follow?
Yeah.
Based on your experience.
To get started, so it happened for me, it happened also to some people that I know. No one wants to invest in an idea. So at the start, you need to invest your own money. Okay? But you just from university, you never worked before. You need money. So you need to have a full-time job. But again, you're working for a company, for example, 9 to 5. Fine. You've committed to work 9 to 5. You're dedicated yourself 100% to the company because you're paying you. But with that money, this is what's going to fund you. So now comes the whole discipline and the deadline thing that I'll talk later. When you get back home, you need to start working on your idea. But again, set deadlines, know your priorities because there's also family time which is very important. Okay? You have to be able to have like a double life for some time because you need money to fund your idea. Once you get there, then you reassess. Once your startup starts bringing in money, then you assess yourself. But there's a catch here. Sometimes, so when it comes time for you, like for example, to make it public, your company will know because you are the one who will need to sell it. That's why you need to be very cautious about checking it with your HR, so that it's not conflicting. That's one thing that they check. But at the start, I will advise you like have a full-time job. It's very hard to do both at the same time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. But do it for some time. Have your money because no one else will give you that. Even if you talk to your parents and say, okay, no. Stick to your full-time job. Yeah. Because maybe they don't see the bigger picture. Maybe they don't dream the same thing as you. At the end of the day, you'll be the one who needs to put your money there. You bring both of them at the start.
Thank you.
Good. Anything else? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What would you say are the biggest considerations when trying to reach out to people, to peers, to people of your same level, or people who can work with you?
Mm-hmm.
These are the biggest considerations.
So I had the idea of starting my own thing from university. The first thing that I did, so I had some friends, not a lot, but I had some friends. But not all of them share the same value as you. So you are the one behind your product. You have your values. Those values later will come as your company values. Could it be discipline? Could it be anything? That will be the value that you want your company to have. So look for people in your first circle, so people around you, who shares the same values as you. Because these people, when they jump in your project, like you're not going to pay them, you don't have the money to pay yourself. But if they have the same values, they will have the same drive as you because they will believe in that. So get your friends, get the people, you know, it could be your cousins or your people from your family as well, but they need to share the same values and the same passion as you. So that's the first thing. Later on, when you will grow, you still need, whenever you'll be hiring people, you still need to look for people who have the same values as you. So yeah, that would be my advice here. Look for people who has the same value as you, and later on, look for people who know what they do very well. For example, you're hiring someone from marketing, fine. You will be the one paying that person from marketing. If ever you tell the person, like the new hire, okay, I don't like your idea, don't do it. If that person say, okay, I won't be doing that because you say it should not be done like that, this is the kind of person you don't need to hire. Because someone who believes strongly in whatever he's doing will help you grow. They are the expert in what they do, right? You don't know anything about marketing. You might know a bit about programming that helps you build your MVP. But when you're hiring, even if you have already hired the person, they need to be ready to argue with you to prove that their value, that whatever they're proposing is good as well. But it all comes down to the value. They believe strongly enough in the values that you shared for your company. They won't be afraid to argue with you if you're the one paying them. Good? Yes.
So you have already created your startup.
Yep.
And what are your current struggles, or what are your next plans for your startup?
I'm still dealing with having the full-time job and the company at the same time, but I've passed the cap of going public. So I've got all the blessings from the management for me to do it at the same time. Next cap for me. So last year I've got my first client. This year I've got my second one. So once you've reached that point, you see that for me, I'm providing values enough. Like I have 200 people using what I've done so far. So for me, it's like growing the audience, grow the market, like bring this value closer to a lot of people. And if I'm able to make a company out of it, why not? Like if it's able to pay for itself and to pay for the people that it needs going through, fine, I'm able to quit my job now and to work on it fully. But you need to bring in money. To bring in money, you need to go talk to people, get clients. That's it. So I'm on the phase now of getting like new people, new clients, and to try to bring in some money. Yeah? Yes?
So, congratulations on getting the first line. We're getting to the second one.
Yeah.
If I may ask, on the same line of the person I'm lost,
Yeah?
what is the current capacity of your team currently? Or are you still working as a development?
No, we're a team of two now. I've grown a bit since the start. We are two now. So I am not good with whatever is design or whatever things that looks beautiful. So I have someone who's helping me on all the marketing and the design side. And I'm still focusing on looking for new clients and looking after the development. But also I've reached to the point of I need a mobile app because we have a web app. We need a mobile app, but I cannot do it on my own because now I'm on the lookout for clients. So I'm hiring, like I'm working with freelancers now to get the development that I cannot do. But we're still a team of two, one looking at the designs and marketing, and I'm the one looking after freelancers and the codes. Yeah.
If you were going to grow your team, so currently you're the developer and this one is handling design and you're outsourcing freelancers to someone. If you're going to grow your team, what would be the next roles that you're going to target?
First one, I'm going to look for someone in marketing. It's very important because you can have the most beautiful thing, the most efficient thing, but you need to be able to sell it to people. Marketing is a science. It's a way to get to the information to people in a way that down the line they'll be able to remember your brand. Okay, so a guy from marketing from the start is very important because it will help people. Because no, clients, you need to breed them. You grow, they grow with you, and you need to bring new people on board. So marketing people will be the next part of my team. Yeah. Good. Any questions? No? You good? Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. So I want to add some few things regarding presentation. First of all, thank you very much for the what you shared. It's a great idea. So you guys have a lot of entrepreneurs. You can use this for your startup. And also regarding what you were saying during the presentation, how feedback that you got. I think it's based on humankind. It's easier for us to critique people rather than to give solution. What I mean is every time you can propose something wonderful, people say, I don't have a product. At the time, when you say, okay, what is your solution? When you say, what is your solution? Because you're criticism, you're giving some critics on my product, change this up. And say, oh no, but it's okay. Well, it's not bad, not bad. So I think people don't know how to give constructive feedback. So it's a human kind.
There's two parts of it. There are people who don't know how to give feedback, and there's you who also should know how to take feedback as well. Yeah. People can, maybe they don't know the right words to tell it, okay? But also, you know, feedback is feedback at the end. So I've got, the first time I've launched the first version of my company, so the name was terrible, but I didn't know that the name was terrible. I've got like 50 comments just about the name. Okay, some of them were like, 75% of them was not like child friendly. Yeah, but then the bottom line was that the name was not good. Get to the heart of the feedback. Forget about the wording. Just get to what's the bottom of it. What is the message that you want to share? Yeah. So feedback can be hard, can be harsh, but you on the other side have the power to decide how you're going to deal with that.
To finish, also regarding the feedback, it's very kind. Just to you, Marvin, for this presentation, I want to take
I don't see it.
I don't want to hijack your presentation.
It's good, it's a sharing.
I will be straightforward. So, I'm Damien. I was working on a mathematical approach for a chatbot. I have been working on this thing, I think, for nearly 1 year. And at the end, I noticed there was some issue with the performance. I was about to change everything. So I did speak to a friend who told me, no, you did a lot of work, why are you changing everything? Check your code, check everything, check your mathematical approach, and it should be okay. So I take this feedback. Then I say, okay, he's right, I've been working for this approach for so many years. So instead of doing things from scratch and another approach, so I use his feedback, and at the end it was a great feedback because otherwise I've been doing things again and again. So share with people your idea because you may be thinking like this way, but you may have missed something. Always share your thoughts with others. So that's all for me.
No, so it's your users who decide. The owner of Walmart says that there's only one bus. However big your company might be, there's only one bus. That's your client. So he's the one who decides if you grow, he's the one who's going to decide if you're going to close down the next day. So building your company, building your product, or building yourself, having your customers in mind, like that's very important. You need to be user or customer centric. And then the feedback will follow. Good. Anything else I can help you with? Yep. So that's my LinkedIn. You can connect with me. We can continue the chat. So I blog about a lot of stuff. It could be tech and non-tech or career advice, whatever it is. You can check out the blogs here and connect with LinkedIn. I'll be very happy to continue this conversation or help you because I've hit the wall a lot of time and started all over again. If you want to hit the wall, fine. That's part of the game actually. You need to face like hard things, but I don't want you to lose your time having the same failures as me. I want you to grow based on my failures, and then you face your own failures so that later you can come and share it with other people. So it's going to be incremental. Good? Yeah, let's connect, let's continue the conversation. 40 minutes sometimes is not enough. Yeah, I won't tell you thank you because that was a sharing. But yeah, I hope I helped you with enough material to get started and go change the world. We need you. Please do that. Once you do that,
Merci beaucoup. Oui. Au compte du système Enterprise, conseillant la chance.
okay.
Au compte de